Philadelphians know hard work, but you don't have to do it all yourself. TaskRabbit has been helping residents in the city of brotherly love for over a decade with everything from furniture assembly to minor home repairs. Don't let that to-do list ruin your weekend. Use the TaskRabbit app to describe what you need and find a skilled tasker in your neighborhood. Also, there's transparent pricing, so you'll be able to see the hourly rate up front, which includes the tasker's rate and the service fee. So there's no surprises at checkout. Download the TaskRabbit app or visit taskrabbit.com today.
Welcome back to CityCast Philly's Friday News Roundup. We're talking about which tech companies hit Control-Alt-Delete on Mayor Parker's tax proposals, why the planned installation of bike lane barriers is back in court, how we ended up with multiple controversies over Pride celebrations this month, and for our CityCast Philly Neighbors Only segment, I give you the inside scoop on jury duty in the city. It's Friday, June 5th. I'm Matt Katz, filling in for Trinae Nari, and here's what Philly's talking about. Abby Fritz, senior producer of CityCast Philly. Nice to see you here at the Fitler Club.
Thanks for having me, Matt.
So it was a culmination of a fight this week between Big Tech and the mayor, and Abby, Big Tech won.
As they tend to.
As they tend to, yes. The mayor proposed 3 tax hikes in recent weeks, all on new technology, on things that didn't exist 2 decades ago, right? So new taxes on, or higher taxes on short-term rentals, aka Airbnb, VRBO, a new tax on rideshare, aka Uber and Lyft, and another tax on retail deliveries like Amazon. And all of this, as we're recording right now, all of these proposals appear to be totally dead.
Basically, the short-term rental tax was supposed to pay for 1,000 shelter beds that would have benefited folks struggling with homelessness. That plan was to increase taxes on city hotels by 0.6%, and then increase Airbnb taxes by 6%.
So yeah, initially she wanted to increase taxes on hotels more. This was a negotiated deal with the hotel industry.
Yeah.
Lowered the tax on the hotels and really spiked it on the Airbnbs.
Yeah, the hotel people went to work and got themselves out of it a bit.
Right.
And if this would have passed for Airbnb, it would have made it one of the highest tax rates in the country. So that would have been a huge deal.
Yeah.
And then the $1 per ride Uber tax would have raised $50 million for schools, which would have helped avoid teacher layoffs. Also, the school district has a $300 million budget deficit to fill, so that money would have been helpful there.
Yes.
And then another proposed tax in the mayor's budget was a 25-cent fee on some delivery orders from places like Amazon and DoorDash to pay for the new pothole squad to fill potholes.
Yeah.
Food and medicine would have been exempted, but there has been so much opposition from tech companies that it's not looking good.
Yeah, you pick a fight with tech companies, and the thing is, tech companies can mobilize their users by just pinging the apps.
Because the way Parker originally presented it was like, this isn't going to be a tax on the people, it's a tax on these businesses. But then the businesses are like, no, we're just going to pass it down to the consumer.
Right.
And so they're getting on all the apps. They're buying ads.
Yep.
And they're like, look, she's raising your prices.
That's right. I mean, Airbnb sent notifications to not only the people who use the service to rent out homes they own, but also the people who recently stayed in Philly and used Airbnb. And they said, here's a link, and email the mayor and say, you don't like what she's trying to do. And Uber did the same thing.
They just have money and this digital infrastructure in place to fight something like this so easily. It was always going to be an uphill battle, it seemed like.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, the mayor put out a press release just 3 weeks ago where she seemed like very optimistic that she was going to get this stuff through. She said, public support continues to grow around the proposed rideshare tax. It cited all this support from labor unions. But that's not who makes the decisions here. There's actually a lot of different players. First of all, it's City Council, obviously. They would have had to approve this. And nobody in City Council seemed to support this. Nobody really came out publicly in support of these proposals. And in the first half of the mayor's term, she was getting through a lot of things that she was pushing. It did seem like she controlled council, like that she had her way with city council members. She used to be on city council herself. She got her housing plans through. She got construction of a big drug rehab center through, all with overwhelming support from council, but not so much anymore. So she needed city council approval, and she seems to have lost some juice there. And then for the Airbnb tax raise and the small tax raise for the hotels that would have come with it, she also had to get support from the Pennsylvania legislature. And why did she think that the Pennsylvania legislature, which couldn't even pass a budget last year until it was 4 months overdue, which is politically divided between Republicans and Democrats almost completely.
And affordability is always an issue. They don't want to raise people's taxes.
And most of them are up for re-election right now. They would have had to, in addition to city council, approve this Airbnb tax. Why did she think that she was going to get this through? Oh, and then the Governor Shapiro, would have had to sign it. And this guy's trying to run for president potentially.
Yeah.
Why is he? Well, he doesn't have an appetite to raise taxes. He even kind of indicated that publicly. So I'm not sure why the mayor thought this was plausible to begin with.
The delusion was not landing this time.
Right,
couldn't speak
sure.
it into existence this time,
yeah,
Parker.
Totally.
Yeah.
So where is the city going to find the money that they need to pay for the things that they were supposed to pay for with all these big tech taxes?
The Inquirer reported that they're going to get this money from a few different places. So they're looking at extra savings from different departments. Think like allocations for leases. They could potentially cost less than they originally expected. So you get a little money there. City job vacancies that won't be filled in the next year, that's some money they can get back. So it's looking like they're going to try to do a little grab bag situation to put it all together. The Inquirer also did call it her most significant legislative defeat to date. So this is a big deal.
You know, the Airbnb discussion made me curious what the rate for Airbnbs right now is, and particularly because we have this big 250th coming up and we have the World Cup.
FIFA.
Yeah, a lot of visitors, and I was like, oh, I wonder what Airbnb is charging now, and then like how much more it could be if this proposal will go through in the future or whatever. So I looked up June 19th to June 22nd, because that way a visitor could see like a couple of World Cup matches. And you maybe even get a Phillies game in there or whatever.
And
so it's like a good weekend.
Parades, like a lot of stuff.
Totally stuff going on. Right, exactly. And I searched on Airbnb and I found what they call a trendy studio in South Philly. This looks to be in East Passyunk. And for 3 nights in the middle of June, 1 bedroom, 2 beds, 1 bath. How much do you think it is?
In total or per night?
In total for 3 nights.
Okay. I think per night over there, it's going to be like $110 a night times 3. So like $390, maybe about $400.
It's $999 for 3 nights. I actually thought that was not a bad deal.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually surprised how cheap it was.
For 1 bedroom though?
1 bedroom, but you 2 people, 2 beds, so you could theoretically split
4.
it with a friend, or you could get 4 in there.
If there's 2 couples, yeah.
Right. I was pretty impressed. I'll give you one more. Old City.
Okay.
3 guests.
Okay.
1 bedroom, 2 beds. This is like a loft, cool loft in Old City.
Okay. Am I taking guesses again?
Yeah, give me one more guess.
I think it's going to be more expensive than East Passyunk.
It's actually cheaper, $862.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I think there's good deals to be had.
I don't know if I'd call that a good
You
deal.
don't think it's a good deal?
When I'm looking on Airbnb, I want it to be 100 or less a night. That's always my goal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it would be 6% more than those numbers you just said, Matt.
I'm looking for that Old City price goes up for 3 nights at $295 a night. The taxes alone currently $133. So another 6% increase on top of that is, I don't know how to do the math, but I think about $10.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, at that point, you might as well stay at the Ritz or something for $300 a night.
I think it's just interesting to me that there's seems to be plenty of places available on Airbnb. And I'm wondering if we're going to be getting this influx of visitors that everybody's promising us in record numbers this June.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
As you begin to make your itinerary for summer, add Brooklyn Bowl to the list. Brooklyn Bowl is a perfect blend of live music, bowling, beer, and food. It's located in Fishtown next to the Fillmore. 24 bowling lanes, 2 bars, and a restaurant featuring food from the Blue Ribbon Restaurant Group. It's open Thursday through Saturday evenings with live shows and parties every week. Half price bowling Thursdays, family bowl Saturdays, plus food and drink specials in the restaurant during Phillies games. Go to brooklynbowl.com/Philadelphia to purchase tickets to shows, make a restaurant reservation, or inquire about hosting your next private event on the Brooklyn Bowl lanes. Fitler Club is Philadelphia's best kept secret. Imagine a place where you can start your morning with a workout, jump into a co-working space with private rooms and offices, and then wrap up the day with cocktails and dinner, or even a round of bowling, all under one roof. That's the experience at Fitler Club. Located right across from 30th Street Station, this members-only club is designed for modern city life. The fitness center spans 2 floors with an indoor pool, golf simulators, and even a cold plunge. There are multiple co-working spaces, 2 bars, a restaurant, private balconies, and yes, complimentary babysitting for members, so you can truly focus on you. Ready to join Philly's most unique private club? Visit fitlerclub.com to learn more and apply today. That's fitlerclub.com. Apply now.
I mean, this week I biked from 23rd and Pine all the way to 8th and Pine, down the bike lanes, and only 2 cars or trucks blocked my path.
Oh, that's quite surprising.
I am totally surprised. This is the most open I've ever seen the pine or spruce bike lanes.
And you've biked in Philly for a while, so
Yes.
you know
Back in
how.
the old days where you're just navigating the horse and buggies. No, I mean,
Yeah.
biked forever. I've biked long before there were bike lanes on pine and spruce. But obviously, pine and spruce has become like a hotbed of controversy.
Yeah.
Over the bike lanes, and that's because like cars and delivery trucks have often used the bike lanes as a parking spot. The fact that there were so few vehicles blocking the lanes made me think that the new fine in the city, $125 for those who stop in bike lanes in Center City, levied by the PPA, maybe that's working. Maybe it really is keeping people out the bike lanes.
I mean, that's a significant amount of money. So there is still a fight to get permanent barriers on these bike lanes.
That's in order to make sure people can't park even if they want to.
Yeah, it's a safety thing. These are some of the busiest bike lanes in the city, and they decided to install concrete barriers next to the lanes to keep people from parking there, to keep people from stopping there for a minute, any of that. It's one of the safest ways to ensure that bikers are not going to be injured by cars on roads. They'd also have loading zones at the end of streets. That's kind of the idea.
Right. But residents on these blocks in Center City were furious. They said they have the right to pull over momentarily in front of their homes to drop people off, elderly, the disabled, kids, or just drop off groceries, things like that. A group called Friends of Pine and Spruce formed and then sued. They won a temporary injunction last year where the city was like in the process of about to install these concrete barriers and they had to stop. And now this week, the city was back in court asking that injunction be dissolved. They want to go ahead and put these barriers in. So we're waiting for a ruling on that. And this saga will continue. It's a big deal because like this really gets to a tension in the city over who has rights over our streets and sidewalks. Is it bikers or drivers, pedestrians or Amazon trucks? So it'll be interesting to see where the judge rules on this and then how much further the case can go. It seems like Friends of Pine and Spruce, I mean, these are pretty wealthy areas. And it seems like Friends of Pine and Spruce, this organization, has some deep pockets behind it. They are very much fighting this very aggressively.
They're saying that city council made these decisions behind closed doors and there was no room for the public to come in and say their piece. So they are saying you got to do all that if you want to make these changes. But then bike activists are saying, we need these things up right now. People die every year in the city. So it's this tug of war right now between these two sides.
After this, Abby, I'm actually going to be back in the bike lane. So
okay. Report back.
I will report any violations just to you, not to the PPA.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'll do nothing about it.
Abby, speaking of Center City-based controversies, what is going on with Pride?
Yeah, I mean, Pride is so huge every year. It's a celebration of queer community and queer people here in Philly, but also June is Pride Month across the country. There's always a big celebration in New York. I've celebrated Pride in Iceland. So it's international, at this point.
Yeah.
But a Philly elementary school was targeted by a conservative social media account for hosting a Pride Day event this week, which they do every year.
Unbelievable. Meredith Elementary in Queen Village, they have this celebration every year. The kids have this day of activities that ends with a walk around the school where they wave pride flags. Parents are allowed to opt their students out of this event, so no one has to participate if they don't want to. But Libs of TikTok, which is a notorious social media account that has a ton of followers, huge sway in the culture wars in the country, they posted about this event at this small elementary school in Philadelphia and basically blasted the fact that they were having a Pride event at all and called for the principal to be fired.
And there was no mention at all that parents could opt their kids out of this.
By Libs of TikTok, they didn't say that.
They didn't say that at all.
Right.
They were just like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I think it was unexpected to have this increased visibility around this event that they've had before,
And it can be scary, right? I mean, there's violence is targeted, drag story hours. You don't know who's going to be motivated by this post to go out and do something unfathomable.
Yeah, absolutely. And the school had more police officers nearby for the day. They changed the route to be inside the school rather than around the perimeter. No protesters ended up showing up, but I'm sure it must have been really scary for the students, for families, for faculty to just think about and try to plan around, this event.
That wasn't the only Pride-related controversy happening in the city over the last several days. You and Trinae, a few weeks ago, had talked about in our CityCast Philly members-only segment that we do at the end of our Friday News Roundups. You talked about how the annual Pride Parade was moved from the Gayborhood on 13th Street and is going to be now held on the Ben Franklin Parkway. That's this Sunday. The parade's going to start at the edge of the Gayborhood at 11 a.m., but it ends at the Art Museum. It goes down the Parkway, and it's going to cost $10 to attend the festival after the parade, and it's usually free.
Yeah, which it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I think this should be a time to celebrate queer people and businesses, and to move it out of the area seems really antithetical to the mission to me, the mission of Pride.
Moving it out of the Gayborhood.
The Gayborhood specifically.
Yeah.
And
right.
I think, the cost is a whole other thing where it's we're going to charge for this event that came out of the Stonewall riots that happened in New York City that kind of prompted queer rights across the country back in the 70s. It started as a protest, so it's interesting to me that it's kind of become this charged events were taking it away from the queer community to the Benjamin Franklin Parkway situation. And I think businesses too are upset about this because they get a huge boost during these celebrations. And now it's going to be all the way across Broad. People are going to be drinking. They're not going to make it past the parade. They're not going to walk all the way back over there,
to the
you know,
like
all the way
gay
back.
bars in the neighborhood,
Yeah, it's like that's kind of a long walk, especially if you got a couple down.
Yeah, businesses were complaining about this. The gay bars and just other bars and restaurants in the neighborhood that usually benefit from Pride. It's a big day of business for them. They're pretty concerned and they're confused why it was taken out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, and they're also saying too that they just couldn't afford the vendor prices for the festival, the $10 festival that's happening on the Parkway. So like the way Pride 365, which is who is hosting the parade and festival, they're like, they can come to us, you can come vend, but some people just can't afford that, you know?
Right.
So
they said Pride 365 says it moved it to the Parkway for safety reasons and to accommodate the big crowds that are there. And the crowds are, they are very intense.
Yeah.
But that's also part of like the joy of Pride.
Absolutely. And I get that, you know, you want to be safe. Like events like this are targeted, you know, across the country for violence. You definitely have to be careful. But I don't know. To me, it just seems like, one, there's going to be a lot of road closures and stuff around the Parkway because of this. I feel like the neighborhood's a little more sectioned off. I feel like it might even be easier to close areas around there, but, you know, what do I know?
Right. Well, if you do want to go, I'm sure it'll still be a wonderful time. You can get tickets for this Sunday by going on Pride 365's website. You can get either the $10 general admission ticket or the $100 VIP ticket, where you get some comfy seating, private bathrooms, $30 in food vouchers, and exclusive photo ops.
And if you want to keep it closer to the neighborhood, you can catch me at a few things. One, the William Way Gay Center, which is the queer community center in the neighborhood, is hosting an LGBTQ plus resource fair with council member Rue Landau. She's the first openly queer council member in Philly, and it's going to be happening Saturday between 12 and 3 p.m. You can get info on legal, housing, and health services, things like that. They're going to be set up. It sounds pretty cool. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be at South Street's Queer Pride Night. It's between 5th and 7th Streets. And unlike the Pride 365 event, it's free. It'll be from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Lots of queer vendors and food trucks, and then you can head right up to the queer bars afterwards.
If you're at the Parkway, this morning, the Philadelphia Art Museum unfurled their pride flag, and this is 1,000 feet, this thing.
Whoa.
It's supposedly the largest flag in Philadelphia's history, and it's been unfurled down the east steps of the Art Museum. You know, I saw this press release about the largest gay flag in Philadelphia's history, which is funny because it reminded me of how when my wife and I were getting married, we had a straight wedding, but it was pre-gay marriage being legalized. So we decided to use as a canopy over ourselves while we were taking our vows. It's like in the Jewish tradition, you use, it's called a huppah. And for our huppah, we decided to use a gay flag.
Oh, very cool.
I went to Giovanni's room, the
bookstore,
said to be the oldest gay bookstore in the country. And I literally went in there and said, I need the largest gay flag you have. So it was not 1,000 feet. It would have not unfurled down the entirety of the steps of the Art Museum, but it covered all of us.
Oh, that's cool.
And it made me think, I don't know where that gay flag is now. I don't know what we did with it.
Oh my gosh, you lost it?
We're still married. That's the most important thing. But I should find the
Pull
flag.
Pull it out for Pride. There
right.
you go. There you go.
We've got some more weekend plans after the break.
Art Philly's What Now 2026 is a citywide festival taking place now through July 2nd. It features over 30 newly commissioned projects by Philly artists. What Now 2026 highlights Philly's creative spirit. And this weekend, the Philadelphia Young Playwrights Civic Theater Project will be on view at the Louis Blouvier Theater. The project is an inspiring initiative, inviting passionate young changemakers from diverse backgrounds and neighborhoods across the region to take a deep dive into civic engagement and playwriting. For tickets to these projects and more at What Now 2026, please visit artphilly.org.
Well, I'm missing Pride this weekend, Abby. I am taking my kids on our annual dads and kids camping trip.
Oh, exciting.
9 dads in our neighborhood, and our kids are going, hopefully.
That's a big group.
It's a big group. We usually get in trouble for being loud. Hopefully it'll be a little more mellow this year.
Okay, where are you going?
The big challenge is to try to keep the teens off their phones at the campsite.
Well, maybe they'll be quieter if they're on their phones.
Yeah, that's true. I've thought about that. We are going to Promised Land State Park.
Oh, where's that?
It's like up there somewhere, kind of by. It's sort of between Scranton and the Delaware Water Gap.
Okay.
It's a Pennsylvania state park. Mm-hmm. It is absolutely gorgeous. My buddy Jason Nark, who covers rural communities for the Philadelphia Inquirer, he says it's one of the best state parks in Pennsylvania. And I believe him. We stay on a lake, and we stay on this like peninsula, so on the west side, so that we can watch the sunset from our campsite. It's totally gorgeous. It's supposed to be 80 degrees this weekend, so kids will get in the lake. I'm not going to go in the lake because of the snakes, but the kids,
no.
the
kids can fight the snakes.
Kids can fight the snakes. Do you have a favorite camping spot?
I haven't camped a ton in Pennsylvania. I do love French Creek.
Oh yeah.
Just because it's
so
like
close.
An hour up the road.
Yep.
It's easy to just be like, let's just go, know, if you can get a camping site one weekend. But I've always wanted to go to Cherry Springs State Park, which is a state park north of Philly. It's a couple hours out, and it's a designated dark sky park, which means it's so dark out there that you can see the Milky Way, you can see all the stars.
Cool.
It's like it's meant to be beautiful from what I've heard.
I've heard the same thing. I've heard it's like one of the darkest places in North America.
Yeah. So great
awesome.
Views. But I'll be at the Chinese Lantern Festival tonight.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm really excited. Host Trenanery loves this event and convinced me to go for the first time this year. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to eat a lot. I'm going to see all the handmade lantern displays. It's every night, 6 to 11 p.m., starting today, all the way through June 16th. And the only day they will be closed is July 4th.
Well, have a great time. You have a very packed
weekend. Yep, gonna be busy. Sounds like you too. Have fun with all the children.
We will. We usually
Wrangling
do.
them.
There's usually one moment of, tension, and then things subside, and we have a lovely time.
Good.
Now, anyone out there who is not a CityCast Philly neighbor and wants to keep listening to our next members-only segment, it's a mini deep dive into how jury duty works in Philly, because I had jury duty this week. If you want to listen, you'll have to become a CityCast Philly neighbor if you aren't already. Not only do you get these special members-only segments on Fridays, we have a curated events roundup sent from our newsletter editor, Siani Colon, every week. There's ad-free listening to the podcast. We have members-only events every few months, and we're working on one of those events right now. So become a member, and then you can stay tuned to get the inside scoop on jury duty.
Here's what neighbor Juliette C. says about joining. She says, I moved to the city a little over a year ago to finish school and work as a respiratory therapist at CHOP. Between full-time hours working and full-time classes, you guys help me find things to do in my budget so I can make the most of my limited free time. Y'all also come in clutch for date ideas. I love the interviews you do and your support for local businesses. Thanks for keeping me an informed Philadelphian.
Awesome. Thanks, Juliette. And thanks for your work over at CHOP.
Thanks for being a neighbor. Go to membership.citycast.fm/Philly to join and unlock this next segment and join Juliette.
Thanks for hanging out, Abby.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Matt.
Have a great weekend. That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. I'm executive producer Matt Katz. Our senior producers are Abby Fritz and Elizabeth Kama. Our newsletter editor is Siani Colon. And our host is Trinae Nuri, who will be back on Monday. Music is by Philly's own Interminable, with additional music from All the Kimonos. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, text it to a family member, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. We're back on Monday. We'll have more news from around the city. Hope everyone has a safe and wonderful weekend. So long.